Hi guys, welcome back to what I'm teaching this week. And as you might be able to guess from the pumpkin, we're talking a lot about fall pumpkin-y things this week as we talk about first grade. Now I've kind of switched up. I have been doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna switch it specifically because my first and second graders have a bunch of like fallish lessons, and so I want to make sure we can share those before it's no longer fall. So we're going to talk about first grade music today, and yeah, let's get started. So first thing we do is we listen to the song In the Hall of the Mountain King. And so I tell them that Peer Gynt is this guy, and he was out walking in the creepy woods, which is never a good idea, and he accidentally falls into a mountain. And it wasn't just any mountain, it was the home to a whole bunch of trolls. And they're like, oh, like, yeah. So the Troll King, also known as the Mountain King, captures Peer and wants him to marry his ugly, stinky troll princess. And they're like, ooh, like, do you think he wants to marry the troll princess? And they're like, no. I'm like, no, he doesn't. So now what he has to do is he's gonna sneak away, and he needs our help. So if you were gonna be sneaky, would you be loud or quiet? And they're like, oh, quiet. I'm like, great. So we are gonna tiptoe along with the song and see if we can get out of the mountain before the trolls catch us. And so we'll listen to the song and we'll tiptoe to the beat, and we'll like look over our shoulders and around the side and all that stuff. And then we'll get a little bit faster and faster and faster as the song gets faster, and keep going. And then at the end, it has that like bump, 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 bump. And we do little jumps. And then at the very end, we jump out of the mountain to safety in just the right amount of time. After that, the kids take a seat and we get some egg shakers, and then we keep the beat along with the egg shakers so that we get faster and faster. And I just have them watch me, and we'll like keep it here and on our head and up in front and different places. While they're doing that, I actually go ahead and write down the students who are accurately keeping the beat. This is maybe not the best beat keeping song to assess because it does change, but most of my kids are actually pretty good with beat even when they come to me, so it's not a huge thing, and I do have a couple that aren't quite there, but most of them are pretty good. After that, I'm like, great, I'm gonna sing a song, can you just, you know, play along with me? And so I sing the song Dulce Dulce, and this song goes Dulce 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 Mama, Dulce, dulce, dulce mama, dulce, dulce, dulce chiquita, 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 chiquita. This is an African-American song. It is in Spanish, and dulce means sweet, and then chiquita is a little girl. And so it's really simple, and so I have them keep the beat a couple of different places. We'll put it on our head and on our shoulders in different places with the egg, and then I'll have them, I'm like, great, this time we're gonna change it. Oh, by the way, did I even tell you? We're talking about steady beat and starting to introduce a little bit of rhythm. So we're like just starting that little journey, and then we're also doing a little bit of up and down for melody, and so we'll do that. And then I'll have them, I'm like, great, this time we're gonna change it. This time can you play chiquita, chiquita, chiquita? And they'll like, we'll echo that a couple of times. I'm like, okay, cool. So can you keep the beat on your legs while we sing? And then when we get to that part, play it on your egg. And so that's what we'll do. We'll keep the beat, and then when we get to chiquita, then they'll play the rhythm on their eggs. They don't know it's the rhythm, but they do. And so we'll do that a couple of times. I'll come by and pick up the eggs, and I'm like, great, I'm gonna sing a different song. Can you keep the beat along with this one? And I sing the song Pass the Pumpkin. And by the way, the Dulce song, they catch on really quickly because it doesn't have that many words, which is great because then they usually are singing it by the time we get to the end of this activity. And so I'll put Pass the Pumpkin up on the board, and we'll just go to the beat, and it goes, pass the pumpkin all around, listen to the spooky sound, ooh, ooh, will it stop on you? Boo. And so we'll do that once or twice, and then that is really all we have on Monday, because we spent a lot of time talking about like, oh yeah, how do we sit in music, how do we talk in music, all of those fun things. And then on Tuesday, the kids come in and we are starting with the song Hey Jack. So this is a Music K8 song. It is super cute, and what we do is on the verses, we'll keep the beat in different places, so I just have them follow me, and then on the chorus we'll play the rhythm. So the chorus goes boo shaka laka laka boo shaka laka laka boo shaka laka laka boo. And we'll just play that on our legs. And I just have them follow me the first time. It's super cute. The kids love it. There's a video of it on YouTube, so I'll link that down below. And then after that, we move on and I will say great. And we'll talk, and I'll put the picture of a jack-o'-lantern up and I'm like, what do you think Jack is? And they're like, oh, it's a pumpkin. I'm like, great, what kind of pumpkin? So we'll talk about what a jack-o'-lantern is. And then I'm like, oh, awesome. I have a book that's talking about 5 different jack-o'-lanterns. You want to hear it? They're like, yeah. And I pull out my book, 5 Little Pumpkins. I will link it down below. And I'll read the story to them. It's super, super short. And so usually get to the end and they're like, that was it. I'm like, yeah. And so I'll read them the story and then I'm like, but it was so short that we get to add some actions. So then they'll stand up and we'll add the actions. So I'll tell you the words and then also the actions that go along with it that, again, I made up a long time ago and we're still doing them. By the way, I have a whole video about this particular book chant thing, so I will link that down below. There's like an instrument activity that we're not doing in 1st grade. 2nd grade's doing it, but they're not doing it, so you can see that down below. Anyway, so it goes, 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, oh my, it's getting late. The second one said, there are witches in the air. The third one said, but we don't care. The fourth one said, let's run and run and run. The fifth one said, I'm ready for some fun. Woo went the wind and out went the light and 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. So this song is super, super cute. This little chant, super, super cute. The kids love it. We'll do that a couple times and then I'll have them take a seat. And then I'm like, great, can you play the beat along with this? So we go, 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. We do the whole thing. Then I'll go to the piano and I will play Pass the Pumpkin all around on the piano and have them keep the beat on different places. And then after I play it, I'll have them point to, oh, Becca, you have slides. You have slides. Show the slides. After that, I'll have them point to the hearts up on the screen while they sing the song and listen, and then we'll go to the xylophones and play just open D's on the xylophones to the steady beat, and I'll notate that as well to see who can correctly keep the beat on the xylophone. On Wednesday, the kids come in and we're doing Hey Jack again, and this time I'll actually teach them the words. So what I'll do is I'll play it, I'll stop it right before each verse and I'll do the words, and I just have little actions that kind of act out along with each of the different things, and then we'll go straight through the whole thing, and they love this song. It's so much fun, so much fun. After that, I'm like, oh good, so this song is about, you know, Halloween, and that's something that happens in the fall. What are some other things that happen in the fall? And they're like, oh, we're, you know, leaves and foxes and all sorts of things. And if you have 1st graders like mine who don't know their seasons, I literally last week I had one kid tell me you can make snowmen, and I had another kid tell me you can go to the pool, and I was like, neither of those is right. I also have a picture of just a bunch of fall things in case they can't think of anything to help them out. And then after that, we're going over the song Down, Down. So and I tell them to take their hands and pretend like their hands are leaves and they're falling down, because leaves fall in the fall. Our leaves don't fall till February, but you know, it's okay. So Down, Down goes. Down, down, yellow and brown, the leaves are falling all over town. Up, up, up they fly, over the roof, back into the sky. And it's just do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. And I feel like I never get it right. So hopefully that was right. And if not, check the link down below. And so we'll do that a couple of times going up and down. And then I have this little phrase that I put up on the board, and it says, beautiful are the autumn leaves. And I'm like, great, let's see if we could make a song. So here's my words, and I'll tell them the words. And I'm like, so what are some different ways we could do? Could we, you know, and they'll be like, oh, we could go down. I'm like, great. And so I'll actually on the computer, I'll move the words so that they go down the screen. And then I'll sing them and have them echo. So it'll just be like, beautiful are the autumn leaves, or whatever, because it doesn't matter because there's no notation on it. And then they're like, oh, we could do up. And I'm like, oh, great. So we could do beautiful are the autumn leaves. And I'm like, what other ways? And they'll be like, oh, we could do up and then down, down and then up. And it's just a really cute little way. I've mentioned a couple times, I'm really looking for ways to get the kids more involved and to get the kids creating, even in just simple ways like this. Like this is literally a 5-minute activity, but it just brings so much joy to the day because they get to take some ownership and they get to think. And then next time when I ask them to do something like this, then it'll be easier for them because they can figure it out pretty quickly. Anyway, rant over. After that, I'll give them some scarves and we'll go over down again, and then I'll pull up the song Hedwig's Theme by John Williams from the Harry Potter movies, and I'll have them use their scarves to show the highs and the lows to that one, and it's really good because it has that and then it gets like a lot lower, and so we'll just show the highs and lows with that one, and it's really fun and good. And then after that, if we have time, then we are reading the book Mortimer. So Mortimer is a cute little story, I'll link it down below, about a boy who does not want to go to bed. And so his family keeps going up the stairs to tell him to go to bed and then down the stairs to tell him to hush. So I love reading this story for high and low. It's really cute. And so what I do is I'll read the story, and there's a couple parts they echo. So every time someone goes up the stairs, we go thump, 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 and then the kids repeat it. When they go down the stairs, we go thump, 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 and they repeat it. And then we have, so it'll say like, Mortimer's mother went up the stairs, thump, 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 threw him in bed and said, Mortimer, be quiet. And they'll usually repeat that. And then we'll say, and then it says, Mortimer shook his head, yes. And they'll repeat that. And then they'll go down the stairs, thump, 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 thump. And so we repeat those just to have a cute little thing. So that is Wednesday. Now, if you've been around, you'll know that I usually don't plan anything for Thursdays because I never seem to have a 4 or 5 day week, because there's always a PBIS or an awards ceremony or a day off or a whatever. I don't think I've had any 5-day weeks so far with this lesson plan, so I'm not worried about it. And if we do, then I'll just come up with something simple. We might, you know, repeat some things. We might do whatever's the easiest, honestly, because no one else is gonna get it. So we'll do like extensions and that kind of stuff. I haven't even decided what to do because I think I decided I wasn't gonna have any weeks that were 5-day weeks. So then on Friday, the kids come in and we go over 5 little pumpkins, and then we'll go over past the pumpkin because it's just like a pumpkin day. And I'll have a couple kids come up and tap the beats on the board, and then I'll hand out everybody a study beat chart. There are free blank ones in my free resource library. There's also, this is a Google Slides presentation you can purchase, and there's also worksheets that can go along with it if you need something for your kids to do. But this Google Slides presentation, it presents study beat and rhythm as well as presenting quarter and eighth notes if you'd rather do that. And it comes with a free blank beat chart with just like the words and the hearts, so you can use that as well. Just in case anyone is curious, I always use hearts for the beats so that that's not confusing. So hearts are always beats, and then for rhythm I'll use different icons. So like in this one I use pumpkins for the rhythms, big pumpkins, little pumpkins, and then I use the hearts for study beat. Anyway, so then they'll tap those, and I will write that down as an assessment to see who can tap the study beat correctly. And then once that is done, we're actually listening to Heard It Through the Grapevine, which is originally by Aretha Franklin, but our version is by a lady named Lakin Williams, because we are doing musical explorers, and one of our styles this time is soul music. So I'm just kind of starting to introduce it, and then I'll do more of like a formal introduction later on. And so we listen to that and we keep the beat along with that. I'll tell them this is soul music, show them a picture of Lakin so they can learn who Lakin is and listen to the soul music. And if we have time, I teach them a quick little grapevine dance, which is just like a two-step where you're like crossing your legs. So it's cross out, together, cross out, together. Yeah, it's fun. The kids like it. The point is that your feet look like a grapevine, and I heard it through the grapevine. Anyway, and then after that, then we're playing the game that goes along with Pass the Pumpkin, which is obviously we're passing the pumpkin to the study beat. For this one, because of COVID, what I'm doing is I'm using a balled up piece of paper so I can throw it away after each class. And we use hand sanitizer when the kids come in the room. We also use hand sanitizer right before we sit down for this game, and then they go to the bathroom right after this, so then they can wash their hands. If we had something after this, then I would do hand sanitizer before and after, which I have done in many of my other classes. So it's just a little, you know, it's like, it's really hard because everyone has different COVID restrictions and it's kind of like up in the air, but that is what I have taken our restrictions and you know, we use them to the best of my ability. And so that's what we're doing, is we're just sanitizing right before and right after and calling it good. So that is what is going on over here during the months of October and November in first grade. I hope this was helpful. I will link all the things I talked about down below if I can find them all. And I would love to know your favorite pumpkin themed lessons. So let me know down below in the comments. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.